Welcome to Sliver and Bite TV. Today I'm excited to bring you tandoori chicken. I can even show you how to cook it without a tandoor oven. Tandoori chicken is a delightfully sweet, yet once bitten into, has a heat that increases ever so slightly as you devour it. Let's get cooking. As you can see, I have 4 chicken Marylands. What I'm doing now is cutting some slits into the thicker pieces of the chicken, and you just saw me cut the tendons around the base of the drumstick. That is a key indicator telling you whether or not the chicken is fully cooked, because as it cooks, it shrinks and it'll expose the bone. You can see that 2 of the chicken Marylands have skin on. Traditionally, when cooking chicken tandoori, you would take the chicken skin off. What I was doing was giving it a go with the chicken skin to see how it would fare, and it wasn't any good. Now that I've finished preparing the chicken, we're going to start with the ingredients for the first marination. We're going in with some fresh squeezed lemon, fresh squeezed lime. Now, of course, you are able to use pre-packaged lemon and lime juice. However, it just doesn't hit the same. And adding some finely grated fresh ginger and garlic to the lemon and lime juice, along with the Kashmiri red chili powder and some salt. Mix that well. And piece by piece, you can rub the marinade all over the chicken, making sure you get every little crevice, including the little slits that you cut when preparing the chicken. Whilst not necessary, the first marination rids the chicken of any smell and assists in not only tenderizing, but adding additional flavour. The chicken now can be covered and placed into the fridge for 30 minutes and no longer than 2 hours. Whilst the chicken is marinating, we can prepare the second marination. This marination you would want to have in the fridge for at least 12, but preferably 24 hours. You may be wondering what I'm doing with a fine mesh sieve and the Greek yogurt. I'm creating something called hung yogurt. This is a brilliant new technique I learnt whilst learning how to create tandoori chicken. All that you're doing is removing any excess moisture. So measure out your yogurt into the fine mesh sieve over a bowl and leave it to the side for half an hour. You will be surprised just how much liquid you find in the bottom. And for some reason, whilst I was filming, I started preparing the mint chutney halfway through preparing the second marination. So, in a small food processor, you can put in some Greek yogurt. This doesn't need to be hung because you actually do want a little bit of moisture for dipping purposes. Now some fresh squeezed lemon. And when you're measuring it out, you may get some pits in there, so just strain that because you don't want the bitterness of the pit. For a little heat, we're going in with 1 jalapeno. No need to cut it finely, you can just cut it into larger chunks just so it's easier for the food processor to blitz. Now for the garlic, again, just a few chunks. And then the main events, the coriander. Now, you'll see in a moment that I should have roughly chopped it, because as it spins, it actually got tangled in the rotor. So, lesson learned. And then you don't want to put the stem of the mint in, so just the leaves into the processor. And I have to say, I'm extremely proud. I grew that mint and the cilantro, the coriander. I am so chuffed that I've got a garden that I can pull herbs from. It's so amazing. And that is literally it for the mint chutney. So push that down. I've probably overfilled it just a little bit. Lid on and blitz. You probably need to blitz it a few times. Make sure that you wipe down the lid and the sides just to ensure you've got everything blitzed to your satisfaction. As you can see, it's tangled around there. So give it a little chop and you won't have this issue. Would you look at that perfection? So this is a great way to, surprisingly, even though it has a jalapeno in there, cuts through some of the heat of your tandoori chicken or any other hot Indian dishes that you create. It's a great accompaniment. Now back to preparing the second marination. What you'll see in the fry pan there is fenugreek, also known as methi. The reason why I have tried fenugreek for this recipe of tandoori chicken is that when doing some research, fenugreek / methi was one of the ingredients that was a must-have. To be completely honest, I'd never heard of it before, so this is me giving it a go. The version that I got was a slightly moist leaf, so I put it into a fry pan to dry it out a little bit, so I was able to crush it because I didn't want large pieces of leaves in my marinade. So drying it out, whether you put that on a tray and do it in the oven or in a dehydrator, doesn't matter. I just found it disperse a little bit more evenly through the marinade. And when combined with the other aromatics, it offers a complex sweetness with a subtle bitterness. It's now time to combine all of the ingredients for the second marination. So I'm putting some vegetable oil into a fry pan. And once that's warmed, I will be putting in the Kashmiri red chili powder. And we will have this on a medium to low heat for no longer than 2 minutes. What we're going to do is bloom the Kashmiri red chili powder. We're going to activate some of the aromats, and also this will enhance the redness. The mixture was quite dry, so I'm just adding another tablespoon of vegetable oil just to make sure that I can bloom it effectively. And once bloomed, you can put that into a bowl that is large enough to house all of your ingredients. So it's not just the dry ingredients you have on your board, it's also the hung yogurt. And in no particular order, we're adding the rest of the dried ingredients, which is the garam masala, turmeric, cumin and coriander powder, the fenugreek / methi, and giving that a little mix. Before bringing over the hung yogurt, just getting the last little drops off, and as you can see, look how much liquid is at the bottom of that bowl. Keep in mind, this is the first time I've ever hung yogurt, and I was quite surprised at the log that just fell out. Just mixing that through, making sure that you don't have any large clumps of the dry spices in there. As you can see, it looks like a mustard color, but don't despair. When we go to cook it, it actually turns red. Time to retrieve the chicken from the fridge, unwrap it. What we're going to do is remove each of the pieces and put it into a clean bowl so that we are able to remove some of the liquid at the bottom of this first marination bowl, because we want the marinade to stick to the chicken, and it can't do that with the excess moisture. And that's why we hang the yogurt, so that it removes some of that moisture. And it really does work. Having hung yogurt instead of just normal Greek yogurt actually sticks like a paste. You'll see a little further on in the video. As you can see, I'm just mopping up some of that additional liquid that had run off of the chicken, because I will add the second marination to the first marination, because why do you want to get rid of all of that flavor? Grab your second marination and add it to the bowl and mix through both of those marinations together. I am such a stickler for not wanting to waste anything, so forgive me as I keep this part of the film in, me getting every little piece of marinade out. And once that has been mixed thoroughly, we can start massaging the marinade over the chicken Marylands, making sure again that every piece of the chicken is covered. See what I mean? Look at that marinade sticking to the chicken. It is not dripping off one little bit. And then making sure that it's all covered with as much of the marinade as possible. There's no point throwing half of your marinade away on your gloves. And then we're covering and placing that into the fridge for at least 12 hours, but if you can wait a day, even better. Now, before we get to the smoking aspect, you can add some smoked paprika to the second marinade to assist in the smokiness. However, I purchased this wicked little smoker from a place in Australia called Kitchen Warehouse, and you put in some little wood chips and you light it on fire and the fan blows it into your vessel. It was amazing. However, if you don't have access to that, simply put some smoked paprika in with your mixture, and that will assist in creating that smokiness when you're cooking. As you can see, I've retrieved the chicken and I am placing it on a rack inside a deep baking dish. The reason why I'm putting it on a rack, getting ready to smoke, is because I want as much of the surface area of the chicken to be exposed. I've seen so many people creating a well inside of a bowl to use the Dungar method, and it's only getting the top of the chicken. It's not penetrating every part of the chicken possible. So I've suspended it, and that will assist in the smoke reaching every part of the chicken possible. So as you can see, I've completely covered the vessel with cling film. Now, I'm sure that there are better ways to smoke chicken. However, this is what I've landed on because this is what I had at my disposal. So I have created an airtight situation here, which doesn't 100% work because obviously when you're pumping air and the smoke in, it needs a way of releasing the air that's in there, so the displacement. However, I did the best I could and it actually worked. I was only smoking this chicken for approximately 2 minutes and the level of smokiness was amazing. Now it's time to cook the chicken. I put 2 of the Marylands onto a barbecue grill and another 2 on the wire rack in the baking tray into an oven. I just wanted to see whether there was an amazing difference between the 2. And I have to say, whilst the chicken on the barbecue probably looked a little bit better, I found the chicken in the oven to be a little more juicy. The chicken in the oven was at 200 degrees Celsius, 390 degrees Fahrenheit, and the barbecue I had on a high heat. Now you want to make sure you are checking the chicken on the inside. The internal temperature needs to be 74 degrees Celsius, 165 degrees Fahrenheit. And I have a confession. As you can see, I've torn apart 2 of the chicken Marylands because what I wanted to do was submerge the tandoori chicken in the merk makhni because, and merk makhni is butter chicken sauce, because that is the authentic way that they used to store the leftover tandoori chicken, was to keep it in the butter chicken sauce. So that's why you can see the sauce, and that was a different film. But let me tell you, with some naan and the mint chutney, the tandoori chicken was juicy, it was charred to perfection, and it was an absolute delight cooking it from scratch. I think that there's a lot of recipes that you can cut corners with, but tandoori chicken shouldn't be one of them. It is well worth the effort that goes into it. And you can just do it the day before and leave it in the fridge. It doesn't need to be done the same day, and you don't need to stress out about it because you're doing a lot of the work the day before. The day of, when you go to cook the chicken, it's in the oven or on the barbecue, and then you're done after about 20 minutes. Thank you so much for joining me for tandoori chicken. Please head to sliverandbite.com.au to check out the full recipe and method, and check out the merk makhni video and learn how to make an authentic butter chicken. See you soon.